I have a great pleasure to speak with Mandi Dana, who is based in North California. So, Mandi, you're a new member of our community. Welcome. And
Thank you.
I know you are working with some famous people like Tony Robbins, but I would like to know more about your story and how you became who are you today. So please let us know.
Oh, how did I become who I am today? Wow, that's a big question.
I know.
Let's see. I was born. No, I won't go that far back, but I think so. Right now, today, who I am today, it's a culmination of my whole life, right? It's a culmination of all the good and the bad experiences or the challenges. And I did have somewhat of a challenging childhood, and I won't get into that, but I had my challenges. And, because of that, I think all of us do this. We create beliefs and we make decisions and we have all these experiences. And then one day we have an awakening. And my awakening came when I divorced. I kind of hit a rock bottom emotionally and mentally and emotionally. And I discovered the man that I work for, Tony Robbins. And I had always been into personal development, personal growth. I'd been an entrepreneur. I built a business, an infant shoe line business that I built out of my garage because when my kids were young, I was a stay-at-home mom. And then I created this business and I built it into an international business. I had, it was all over in magazines and everything. That was really fun. And then I closed that down, got a divorce. All these things happened all at once. And that's when I hit that rock bottom. And I was trying exercise. I was trying everything, therapy, church, reading books, all this stuff to get up again. And when I discovered him, that was really what really shifted my mindset and put me in a new direction, the trajectory of becoming a coach. So I'd always been somewhat of a coach to my friends and family. However, I knew that that's what I wanted to do with my life moving forward, because I knew that because I had been in such a place of like suffering and feeling like I'm always going to feel like this. And that shift in mindset, that ability to shift my mindset and see the world in a different way. I said to myself, I want to do this for other people. I want to help other people grow. And having the business background and having built businesses myself, I was able to incorporate those too, because it really is, when you're building a business, it really is about your mindset and who you are and how you're showing up that helps you to be successful. Or if you're not being successful, it's likely mindset. So that's really what got me here. Then I started with Tony, and I've had the privilege of really working with people from all over the world with him, both training businesses and on strategies, and then also on mindset coaching.
Wow, such impressive story. And you're completely right. We all have that kind of momentum of truth when we decide to do something which we really think is the best choice for us. So how about this year? This year is so different than any other years, maybe in our lifetime. So how is your business now? I guess everything started to be online. How was the transformation in your case? How was with Tony Robbins? How is with you? And how we are supporting your clients, your community in 2020?
Yeah, that's a good question. It has been a challenging year, that's for sure. And a lot of changes and a lot of, it's very unexpected. So we're just thrown into this pool of uncertainty. And so many of us thrive on certainty. And so it's really, this place of creating certainty. And then how do you find that? How do you rebuild? What's your comeback story, or how do you innovate? And so it's been a lot of innovation. It's been a lot of taking things from doing live events and, in-person events to doing things online. And when you start to make that transition, if, having always done things in person, it's a little scary because you don't know if it's going to succeed. And I know with Tony, they just did an event this last weekend that was wildly successful. And it was a 4-day virtual event. And you thought, how are you going to bring the energy? But they were able to bring the energy. So I think, for everyone, for businesses in general, even businesses that I work with that aren't my own, it's really about getting to a place of surrender of this is what is. And then what do we do next? How do we trim the fat, and then how do we innovate? And so that's really what's been happening for my personal business. It's happened with Tony, and then it's happened with a lot of clients that I'm working with as well.
Yeah, so basically you overcome that fear of the doing new things, and obviously it was our doubt how it's gonna look like, because people who like live events, they don't have bloody idea how it's gonna look like online. But it was successful, and I think many people who are watching this video, they face the same challenge. So what will be like your like maybe 2-3 main things you found the online event can bring, which maybe live event cannot bring? So just kind of some benefits of doing things online.
Yeah, well, one thing is the not having to travel. So, that is a challenge for a lot of people, that they can't travel necessarily or afford, to take the time off work, or because there's always, like, if you're going to do a live event and it's going to be a 3-day event, there's always a travel day in front and back. And so not having to take as much time, the money, the travel, like a lot of people can't afford events because they might be able to afford the event, but they can't necessarily afford the travel. So it's taking the time off plus the travel. So that's been a big game changer. So that it opens up your reach. So it expands your reach. So it's not just those who can afford it, but it's those who maybe wouldn't have been able to afford it before, and then it's open to them. So the impact that you can make grows tremendously when you're able to do it and then do it right.
Absolutely. I think the impact and the global audience is some of the advantage. And what is maybe disadvantage, what you cannot do online, which you used to do in a live event?
Hug people.
Physical.
I mean, for those of us, my love language is touch. So, that's a big one for me. And then, a lot of people say there is a difference in energy when you're sitting in front of a computer by yourself. It's not that it doesn't have to take it all away, but, there is an energy that's created in person that you can't necessarily recreate on a screen. Not that you can't create a massive amount of energy and have an impact. It's just a little bit different. And I'm looking forward to going back to them when we can do them again.
Hopefully we will all be able to do this at least in next year or in the next 2 years. Yeah, let's hope. Mandi, in terms of what you are doing, I'm also curious. I heard you started your podcast show, and you also have planned to launch your masterclass in September.
Yes.
So please let us know a little bit more about your podcast and your program, which you're going to launch in September.
Thank you. Yeah. So my podcast is called Elevate. I just launched it last week, and it's not spelled like elevate. It's spelled ELOVEATE with love in it. And the purpose, the idea with the podcast is that it's elevating your life through self-love. So my first episode I just launched was just my story. It's kind of my backstory and what inspired me to start it, and then the rest of it's going to be some stuff with me telling more stories, sharing more about my journey, and then interviewing people on their hero's journey to finding their really inner core self-love. Because as I've coached so many people, I've got about 5,500 hours of coaching under my belt. And as I've done that, I've realized that is a missing piece for a lot of people, is that ability to love themselves and celebrate themselves. And that holds a lot of people back from doing the things that need to be done in order to move forward or elevate their lives, whether it be relationships, business, financial, health. It's always that piece, or it's often 95% of the time it's that piece. And so I really think it's an important thing to address and to help people grow in. And so the course I'm doing starting in September that I'm launching it's specifically for women. I have a real soft spot for women. I work with both men and women in my job, and then in my business, I kind of wanted to branch off and do something different that was really focused specifically on women, specifically on empowering women to get to step into their own power and live and create the lives that they want. So it's going to be around that. And it's, of course, because self-love is at the core of everything, that's where it'll begin. And I'll expand on that as I grow those masterminds. I plan on helping women to build their businesses and do all those things as well, because I also have that background.
Sounds amazing. And the podcast show is once in 2 weeks' time, or how often?
It's every 2 weeks right now. Life's a little crazy on my end with moving, and I've got a lot of stuff going on. So I thought I'll start with every 2 weeks, and then I'll probably go into a weekly podcast in January 2021.
And what platform you are using for the podcast?
All of them, Spotify, iTunes. Yeah.
Yeah, we can share the link. So
yeah, I'll share the link.
Okay. And for the online program in September, when enrollment is going to start in August or early September?
Probably mid-September, because it'll be the very end of September that I launch it.
Amazing. So when people come back from the...
Like the 15th, yeah.
Okay, yep. Okay. We are looking forward for that. And it will be for the global community, I believe, like people from all over the world.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so for all women who are watching this video and who are thinking this is something for you, please check out our platform, and also Mandi will share some more information when maybe in the beginning of September or mid-September. So for if you want to enroll, please do so. And Mandi, because the health is kind of keyword right now. We're all thinking about our wealth, but if you don't have health, then wealth is not going to help you too much. So what do you do personally to keep your energy high and to keep your health?
Well, I'm a health nut. I always have been, and so I work out almost every day. If I can't work out, then I go on a walk. So I have an evening routine where I'll go down on like a 5-mile walk, and then I also work out. So if I don't get a workout in, I have at least done the walk. I eat very clean. I drink a lot of water. I get my sleep. I do all the basics. So take the supplements and really just make sure that, because you're right, that's actually at the core, and that's a part of my program as well. Is it's really at the core of everything, is taking care of your body, because that's where you get your energy from, even without COVID, even without the worry of being sick. But just to have that energy, just to thrive in life, it starts with the body.
And how about a connection with the online? Are you sometimes disconnected from the online world and enjoy your offline world?
I can do better at that. We all have to have an area of improvement. It's difficult. I think when there's more the ability to connect, right now we're kind of I'm relying on it more because it's my way to connect, and I'm just a connector. And so I'm online more because I have to be online more in order to connect. I can't go hug somebody.
Mandi, thank you so much for sharing your story, background, impressive results you already have. And we are looking forward to listening to your podcast show. Please be free to share in a group, and also your program, which we're going to start in mid-September. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much.